All right, Shalom. For the first one, give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. The honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, to the occupant across the globe, pushing the word of truth and sincerity, want to say Shalom. So I died now for the great millstone camp at Cleveland. Just touching on this Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion uh, um, distraction. You know, there's a lot of 304s out there defending her, and these Negroes are, you know, uh, taking sides and stuff. But that's really just a distraction, to take away from, the world events that's going on. You got these peace talks and these ceasefires. You have the CBDC being rolled out. You have a much more bigger fish to fry than two entertainers, all right? Because you're going to work, entertain means distraction, or sports means distraction. One of the two. Either way is a distraction, all right? This is Sirach 36 and 21, and it reads, "A woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another." It just goes to show you that, just because a woman may look good or whether she may look ugly, you know, um, they don't have a specific mold of a man that they want. I know they say they want a man 6'6" and six figures and all these extra things, but you got poor you got poor niggas, so to speak, all right, cracking these women. These women are they're they're loose. They're not able to control their sexuality, not able to control their emotions, which they're highly emotional, but yet they're loud. All right, you see them on the subway, you see them in the restaurants. They're loud, they're brutish. Okay, but yet these women, all they have to do is put on some lipstick, some hair hats, big eyelashes, and some skin tight clothes, and they get attention from men. You know, it said it's going to talk about how Marwa not if she trespass against it. She's never your woman; it's just your turn. And unless that woman is a virgin, and you do virgins there and still with her, then she's receiving multiple rides inside her. Then she's for the streets, man. You look at the track record of the women that we have particularly dated in our lives. They have a wide range of men in their closet, man. Or there's not one particular. They may have a type, but you have short ones, tall ones, fat ones, and one with jobs, one without jobs, and all type of variances that the women have had in their past, man. So, you know, what do you say? I could never a wife for only one nighter, man. Because you know we know that these women, especially here in the 2000s, man, they're for the streets. So the woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another? And the answer is yeah, because you have some women out there who are totally against that WAP movement, that 304 movement, that big back woman, going to these restaurants and dipping out and putting crab legs in their purses. You have women who are actually out here, giving comfort and kind words to their men, being finding it difficult at times because of the actions of your hair hat, bonnet wearing women, man. You know, it says the beauty of a woman cheers the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. You know, and there's nothing wrong because Megan Thee Stallion is an attractive woman. Cardi B is an attractive woman. Rihanna and so on and so forth. These women are attractive. But if they're not cheering up their husband, if they're not giving comfort and kind words and support, then yes, you can expect to get treated as the doormat, as a garden tool. 'Cause at the end of the day, All right, just having a cute face and a big booty is not going to keep, a true man. It says there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men. And you didn't watch these videos, you didn't see uh, uh, these women performing on stage with scantily clad clothes. You hear them talk, the pride they have in their mouth, their independency. You know, nobody wants to be around a loud, gadding abroad woman, man. You know, he that giveth a wife giveth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest, man. So we're supposed to be resting. We're supposed to have some comfort, some solace in knowing that our women are there at home or we're out on the road making money or whatever. They're at home handling business, man. That they're out there being taking care of the home, all right, catering, all right, to their men, man. But nobody wants to come home, all right, to a proud, rude, all right, unladylike woman, man. All right, but a singer. Rock 9 started once to be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself. Sometimes we have to withhold things, man. Our woman doesn't need to see everything that we do. Or they don't need to hear every conversation on the phone. All right, because what they do, they start examining you. They try to say, "Oh, this is not lawful," or try to teach you what it is to be to be a man, and more in particular, Israelite man. All right, that's why you have a lot of these. You have some brothers who wives try to expose them. All right, who wives try to lock them up. Okay, to get out thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance, man. And a lot of times we fall too hard for these women. 'Cause a lot of men, we like to have our woman. We like to have their comfort, have something nice looking on our arm. And these women are only out to get paid, man. All right, you get married, they want to, you're rich and she truly love you. She will sign that prenup, okay? Like what Kobe said, she wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym. So these things are deterrents, all right, for for men nowadays, man. All right, 'cause even a poor man, a regular 9 to 5 man, us guys who working at the factories and UPS and doing landscape, are they even want that little bit of money, man? All right, so there's no benefit in marrying nowadays, man. It says, "Meet not with a harlot, lest thou fall into her snares." You know, and and I know this one all too well, man. Out there chasing these women and giving out substance to them. They're giving us, they sweet talking you while you're drunk and while you're smitten or coming over, getting over a breakup. You know, there's nothing but her heart is nothing but snares and traps, bands, man. It says, use not that much company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. And these singers, these dancers, these entertainers, these actresses. All right, they're all being tossed around and passed around. You look at the public record of their sexual exploits, man, and the list is long, and some are longer than others, man. They had a list of men that she'd been publicly dating, and is more than a few. So just imagine the ones who are not public figures, or the ones that she had before she even got into her position, man. All right, we're not going to absolve the male from this either, because these nobody gives a shit about Klay Thompson either, man. Let's get that straight. All right, he's not part of the elect. He's not unless we repent. All right, he ain't certain how about me outside. All right, I want to set that out there too, because I don't give a whatever. So gay is not only made that thou fall not by these things that are precious in her, and you know the the eye test, right? These women pass the eye test, man. The big booty and the smile, the hips and the round tire like the moon, and you know, but the inward parts of these women, man. The inward parts, the spirit, her attitude, her meekness. Right, those things are what's lacking. Those things are what's truly valuable to a high value man. All right, because who wants a woman out there where everybody can look at her shape, where she's making music and doing acting or scenes on the movies with other men, you see, or women in that case. So get not thy soul into harlots that thou hast not lost thine inheritance. It said, look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary place there, all right, man. Brothers, beware of always wanting some box, you know, of always wanting some box, man. Because, it's dangerous out there. Brothers been through some sticky situations, dealing with these women, looking for them on Tinder and Black Love and plenty of fish, man, all right? Just turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire, you know. And they had a song back in the late '80s, early '90s said, "Find an ugly woman and make her your wife, man." But it's a joke. But sometimes we have to get past the eye test, all right, and look what's on the inside, all right, instead of just trying to get a trophy, so to speak. To turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another beauty, right, man? You got these actors and actresses, ball players, these celebrities who are commenting on other men's wives while they're still together, plotting and sliding in these DMs while they're in relationships, man. All right, it's just a vicious, perpetual cycle of adultery, man. All right, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for her with love is kindled as a fire. Right, you got a lot of these women backdooring men, setting them up to get killed, to get robbed, setting them up to take care of other men's babies, man. Just sitting at all with another man's wife, sit down with her in thine arms, spending out thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction, man. You know, and these guys are quick to be best friends, and friends only be an ear, a best friend to a harlot, a best friend to an adulterous woman. So, to think they got a chance with sitting, sleeping, because hey, to be honest, a lot of that adultery come from best friends, man. You bringing your friends around your girl, or your girl around your friends. You go to the bathroom and, shooting sweet nothings, changing numbers and DMs and things like that. You get your check, you meet her at the bar to talk, and you get them beer goggles. All right, and start to your ambitions are lower, so you're starting to feel warm and fuzzy inside by how she's looking at you, and you're looking at her, and and next thing you know, you're in the, y'all in the bed together. Let's get this. Sirach 26. And Sirach 20, 24 and 22. A harlot should be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. And the Lord called the other nations spittle, nothing. You know, spitting on somebody is the worst thing that you could do to possibly do to somebody. Taking your saliva and having a big old loogie and wow, right in the face, man. That's what the Lord called these harlots, man. All right, and Megan Thee Stallion is a harlot. So the wicked woman is given a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So these men who are in these circles and they're trading women and they're passing these women around and things like that, these known harlots, all right, these are wicked men, man. You know, and for you brothers out there, you got to ask yourself if when you're dealing with these women and she's not going the way you have her, and you're constantly got to argue about her clothes and doing her job as a woman, man. You gotta ask yourself, man, are you wicked? Because the Lord is gonna get away from her. You know, verse 24 says a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband, man. All right, these women are dishonest and they bring shame. Okay, it'd be a shame to go out there and you're at home and you see your wife on television, twerking on another man or twerking on another woman or having an interview talking about her sexuality or even worse, talking about private, intimate moments with yourself. You know, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. All right, so you more not shamefaced, man. They're nothing but bitches and hoes. But Snoop say bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, man. In the Western society, they glamorize this, man. They put it on your kid's iPad, they put it on the radio, they put it in these videos, man. So they're bringing up a generation full of WAPs, all right, full of 304s, man. You got your daughters listening to this music, defending this woman, man. All right, defending her horse antics. Okay. It says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him and her pride shall be counted ungodly of all, man. Right? 'Cause this pride, because you're making money and you're a celebrity, that you think you can do certain things and say certain things to get away with it. Whether they're not married or not, how about just a simple respect of the relationship, you know? And we're going to judge these women, man. It says a loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies, man. You don't need no police siren, man. Just take the nigga woman out there, all right, to win a war, man. You hear them all the time live. They rolling their neck, they fat belly rolls, and they short shirts with the hair bound on the eyelashes, taking off their shoes, being barefoot in the street, windmilling, carrying guns, man. All right, their voices it just it's unbearable, man. It's unbearable. A disgrace to the human race. All right, nobody wants a loud, obnoxious um um wife, man. You could just let's see. About the word right. Come on. It's in Psalms, I think. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yep. Proverbs 31. 31:10 says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For a price is far above rubies." And we're looking for those the diamond in the rough, so to speak. A clean, spiritually clean woman. And I know that we're not gonna find any Rebecca's and Sarah's nowadays, but there are some out there who are better than others, man. All right, who are loyal, who are out there providing and taking care of their men. And they might the woman we're talking about. Okay, so if the shoe don't fit, put it back on the rack. All right. The heart of her husband doth safely, trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. You know, and there's nothing worse than what they say uh, and, uh you gotta be a strong nigga to work the third shift knowing your wife is a hoe, and that's true, man. We still have to worry about our goods getting spoiled by another man while we're at work, or bringing home the lamb. You know, working in 12s, over across the road trucking. In the military. You know, you got these women who are sneaking men out the house and they're climbing on ledges and hiding up under beds and closets and laughing about it, man. All right, nobody wants to worry about these things, man. We have enough to worry about than to worry about, she dropping her kids off at mom's so she can have a rendezvous with another ninja, man. She would do them good and not evil all the days of her life, right, man? There's nothing like a woman who you ain't got to argue with. You ain't got to yell at her. You ain't got to tell not to wear that. A woman who pay attention enough to you to, you ain't got to tell her that you're hungry. She just knows. She knows your schedule. She knows your routine. She knows what you like and how you like it, man. You know, she seeketh wood, or slack. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. Right? When these women can't, these women ain't cooking like that. Right? They're not making those sweaters and garments for the brothers. They're not helping cook meals. All right, I like chicken and rice, man, but put some variety, put some shit together from scratch, man. It's cold. Can you make a scarf, a hat? You know, or 15 says she rises also while it is yet right. It's like if she rises also while it is yet night, giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. Right, man. Your woman might work the night shift, but she come home and still cook, still take care of the kids. You know, she gets up early and before the sun rises and makes breakfast, a hearty meal, so her husband and the children and those in her house can have energy to perform the work of the day. You know, you women ain't getting up cooking no real breakfast, man. No sausage and turkey sausage, eggs and toast and pancakes, man, or grits. Or either giving them toastables and crustables and hot crunchy curls and Cheetos, man, for breakfast, man. So she considereth a field and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands. She planteth the vineyard, right? Man, you women out here probably looking for land, man. The little bit of money you give her or the work she does selling her goods, right? supposed to be investing in the house, man. All right. You know, these women want to spend. They want to spend red money. You know, and these guys are getting took for their millions, man. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night, right, man? She working hard in her craft, building blankets and quilts and curtains and baskets and doing the old in the ancient world. They know how to weave, they know how to sew, they know how to make pottery, plates and dishes and cups. You see, how we were up late night studying and putting together lessons. They be up, up late night, um, 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 putting in the work of their hands too, man. So she lay up her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. All right, man. She's generous. She's considerate. She's charitable. Not prideful. You women are stingy, man. Let you run out of money or be a little short on gas for the week. See that chick give you some money to fill up your tank. You get back and forth. You know, let you put off buying your work boots because things around the house need to be fixed, and ask her to buy you some work boots, some $20 Walmart boots to see what happens, man. You know, that she's not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet, right, man? She didn't worry about the winter because she didn't made coats and long johns and socks and gloves and scarves and hoodies and hats, man. You see, with Samuel's mother, she made him a sweater every year. You know, she ain't worried about when it gets cold because she didn't labor and she put forth effort to making sure when the winter comes that their kids and their husbands are gonna have warm clothes, man. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. These women never bragging about what they made. They're just never showing off the blankets or the creativity or the feminism. They have no skills but to twerk and blow a rod, man. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. You know, you know, brothers know. Uh, men know when you got a good woman, man. You come you come to camp with some new threads, all right, or your brother come to camp with some tinctures. Oh my girl, put these together for the brothers, and that happens quite a bit, man. All right, and Jake scoffed the brothers and shit, but it's all in love, man. But brothers do have these type of women sitting at home, and we know, I know when I go to a certain brother's crib, their wives be throwing down when she cook for the brothers, man. You know, it's like they're a couple. It's like they complement each other, man. That she maketh the linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles upon unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She got to labor to work too. All right, but women's work. Tobit's wife did women's work, man. All right, not putting on steel toe boots and hard hats and driving forklifts, man. Construction, man. These construction bitches, man. All right, these wrestlers and bodybuilders, man. Nobody wants a manly woman, all right, to come home to, man. It says she opened her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness, man. Comfort and kind words, man. Give me some loyalty, some honesty, some comfort and kind words. You get whatever you want from a great majority of the men, man. And you're gonna see a beauty and a love that you have for them that you never would have thought you would get out of a fucking Klay Thompson, man. All right, because it's not about love; it's about providing. Because you can grow to love somebody, man. You don't start off loving your wife; you start off liking her, and over time, if it proceeds in progression away, you end up do loving them. All right, but it's the way you treat and the way you act, the way you communicate, the way you handle the business of being a man or being a woman. All right. She looketh well to the ways of her husband and eateth not the bread of idleness, man. Yeah, man. Get up and get into work, man. Get up and clean the house, make a sandwich. All right, wash the clothes, man. Pay attention to your man's mood swings and or mood changes and things like that, man. Notice the blisters on his hand. Them comforting kind words go a long way. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her, man. Hey, to be honest, all right, the brothers, and we've been around, a few moons, and husbands do speak very highly of their wives, man. I know they be going through hell and stuff, but if they wasn't pleased as well with them, they wasn't doing what's right, they would not be with them. And I know that for a first-hand fact. You see, you know, brothers love to talk about their wives, man, when they're on point, right? So many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates, man. These women are giving birth to monsters, man. These YNs on TV, on social media, talking bad about their mom, talking bad about their dads, man. My mom was a hoe. My mom got 4 baby daddies, and she ain't never home. She don't cook. She don't do this, man. That's terrible, man. All right, it's here to talk about how the woman should be teaching the young wives, the elders teaching younger women, man. But yet they're teaching them how to twerk, how to be a succubus, how to be a harlot, how to be unaccountable. You see, you know, your favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, man. All right, that vain beauty. It ain't gonna look good. It ain't good, man. You know. And fuck Klay Thompson too. But them gonna say Shalom.